A Democratic challenger to Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel is getting a lot of attention after lending his campaign $1 million. His name is Willie Wilson. He's one of 4 contenders hoping to give Mayor Rahm Emanuel a run for his money on February 24th. That's the primary. And his rags to riches life story is getting a lot of attention out there, especially in the African-American community. With just a middle school education, Wilson worked his way out of poverty, eventually founding a successful medical supply company. And last month, he withstood a tough legal challenge from the Emanuel campaign about the validity of his signature petitions. Anyway, he's come a long way, and his biography is compelling, many believe. So the question is, does Willie Wilson have the solutions for Chicago? Here he is. I'd like to welcome him, Willie Wilson, Democratic candidate for mayor of Chicago. Mr. Wilson, thank you. Your life story is so impressive, how you went from cleaning toilets in a McDonald's store, owning a McDonald's, having a franchise, to moving on and becoming something of a tycoon. How does that help become a great mayor? How does it make you a great mayor, or a good mayor?
Well, let's put it this way. The mayor you have now is not a good mayor or a great mayor. I come through not so much of schooling, but through experience. I'm not a politician. I'm a business person. I came from out of the cotton field of Louisiana up to north and came my way to working in mopping the floors to McDonald's. And I never left the neighborhood. I've always supported the neighborhood and still support the neighborhood today. I put in regular common sense to a regular human being and take my business philosophy and put it together and know that's add up to one thing, and that's add up to helping other people to get ahead, those who had a disadvantage in life.
Well, let's go to a couple of the things we read about that are always troubling in big cities. Chicago not alone among them. Murders, homicides, 432 homicides last year in Chicago. How would you get that number down?
Well, I see what you had to do. There's 2 ways you had to get that down. First off, you must put, the superintendent of police have not done a good job. I would put in 4 superintendents of policemen. I would break the city up in 4 different segments. And those 4 police superintendents would each have their proportion. They can get closer to the people in the community, be more friendly. I would take them out the automobile, probably about 75% out of the automobiles. Let them ride the street bus. Let them ride the L, the subway. Let them walk the street with the community and get more friendly that way. Now, somebody might say, how would you pay for it? Well, you pay for it by, you don't got to buy the automobile. You ain't got to pay for the gas. You ain't got to pay for the upkeep, tune-up cars and things of that nature. That will help pay for it. But the most important thing is that get more friendly. The thing that causes crime and stuff in our community is economic development and contracts. We don't have that. You create an environment into our neighborhood that causes problems. What got to be done, that you got to get businesses into those communities to do business.
How do you do that? You got a 7.3 unemployment rate out there in Chicago. How do you get that number down? I mean, businesses in the community, that's people, Rahm Emanuel, do that every day of their lives. They're always pushing trade groups coming in. They're bringing people in to try to get them to invest. I mean, he's a business guy, like you, but how do you make that actually happen? Would you get down the unemployment rate in 4 or 8 years as mayor? Would it actually come down? And how would you do it? That's what people, that's common sense. People want an answer to that question.
Well, here's how I would do it. I would introduce legislation into City Council that anybody who does business with the City of Chicago must have an equal opportunity with jobs and contracts. That way the money is circulate back into the community and create economic development. I would take the city, whatever business that the city does, it had to reflect the population of Chicago. And I don't talk about one particular group, I'm thinking of all citizens. If you take right now and put the economic back into the community, those communities drive down unemployment rate. Let's take an example. If you look at O'Hare, look at Midway, those jobs do not reflect the makeup of the community, particularly with contracts. You would change those things there. The other way I would open back up Meg Field, create jobs and contract that goes back to the community.
Okay, minority set-asides. I know that's been tried, and I hear you. You want minority set-asides. You want the pie sliced differently. Thank you very much for coming on. Willie Wilson, candidate for mayor of Chicago, has just put $1 million of his own money. His skin's in the game, and we will be having on Mayor Rahm Emanuel anytime he wants to come on between now and the primary. The primary, by the way, is in March. Actually, it's in February.